Welcome back, students. Today, this is Priyanka Mishra again is here with the last topics from chapter number 11, Rebels and the Raj. These topics will conclude the chapter as well as will also tell us about the reparation of the revolt of 1857 by the Britishers as well as what was the significance of this revolt in history. So, if we talk about the steps taken by the Britishers for repressing the revolt, first of all, the Britishers passed a series of laws to help them to quell the uprising. The whole of the North India was brought under martial law. Military officers and even the ordinary European people were given the right to try and punish the Indians who were coming under suspicion of being involved in the 1857 revolt. And the punishment that was decided for such Indians was only death. The Britishers also used some other measures, like they used to break the unity of the rebels, like they used to attract some of the landholders that if they would support the Britishers would return back all their estates and land holdings, and the landholders who still opposed the Britishers, they had to be dispossessed of from their land holdings. After that, this map is showing you the major centers of the revolt like Delhi, Agra, Mathura, Lucknow, Kanpur, Azamgarh, Jhansi, Allahabad, Jodhpur, Ahmedabad, Jabalpur, Aurangabad, Calcutta, etc. Here, we will also discuss about through these yellow lines that how the Europeans finally repressed the revolts of the rebels. Like we can see that from the western part and from the eastern part, they are just moving towards the north. That means like this way the Britishers started quelling the uprising. After that, here are some pictures that will tell you that how some of the British buildings were totally destroyed after the revolt of 1857 by the rebels. Again, now we will talk about the images of the revolt. How were the images of the revolt according to different historians, authors, as well as painters? Official records tell us about the fear and anxieties of officials and their perception of the rebels. The stories of the revolt that were published in the British newspapers and magazines in glory detail the violence of the mutineers, and these stories inflamed public feelings and provoked demands of retribution and revenge. That means the English newspapers and magazines used to depict the Britishers as the heroes and the Indians as the villains. One important record of the mutiny is the pictorial image, like posters and cartoons, produced by Indians as well as the Britishers. British pictures provide a variety of images that were meant to provoke emotions and reactions. Some of them commemorate the British heroes who saved the English and repressed the rebels, and those Englishmen were called as the saviors of the Europeans. After that, here are again some pictures. Like in the first picture, Relief of Lucknow, painted by Thomas John Barker in 1859, and in the second picture, In Memoriam by Joseph Neil Patton, 1859. These pictures are just telling the supremacy of the Britishers as well as how the British woman got survived even after the uprising. Now, some more views about the revolt tell us that relief of Lucknow painted by Thomas John Barker is an example. It represents the siege of Lucknow by mutineers and the British heroes Campbell, Outram and Havelock. In Memoriam painted by Joseph Noel Patton depicts violence against English women and children. M.S. Wheeler's painting, Miss Wheeler, is shown as defending herself against the sepoys at Kanpur. That means the present day Kanpur. Punch, that is a magazine, cartoons published in Britain in 1857, and the name of that magazine was Justice, the British Lion's vengeance on the Bengal tiger, and the clemency of Canning. These some of the cartoons totally play the characterization of the savior of the Britishers and the characterization of Indians as villains or as the mutineers. The images of executions of Indian soldier is also in Peshawar. After that again some more pictures we can see Miss Wheeler defending herself against sepoys in Kanpur. That means through these pictures the Britishers have been made as the saviors or the heroes. This picture is again telling us about the execution of mutinous sepoys in Peshawar. Then we are going to talk about nationalist imageries. Here, basically, the point to be discussed is how the heroes of 1857 put a landmark in the Indian history and proved to be the important people who for to their next generations they taught the lessons of bravery, patriotism, sacrifice and humanity. The national movement drew its inspiration from the revolts of 1857. It was the first war of independence in which people of all sections of society who came together to fight against the foreign rule. Leaders of the revolt were also presented as heroic figures leading the country into battle of freedom. The revolt also roused the people to come together, to be united, and to fight against the oppressive British rule in India. The poets and the writers also gave their full support with their narratives and poems, and by making the people conscious and aware about their rights, about the feeling of patriotism. Many books have been written to highlight the contribution of many patriots like Rani Lakshmi Bai, Tantiya Tope, and many others. Especially Subhadra Kumari Chauhan in her poem Khoob Ladi Mardani, wo to Jhansi wali Rani thi, is such a famous poem just to describe the valor, the dignity, the bravery, as well as the sacrifice of that young female Rani Lakshmi Bai. So now you can also see that films and posters have also helped to recreate the images of Rani Lakshmi Bai as a masculine warrior. That means Rani Lakshmi Bai, no doubt she was a female, but whenever she entered the battlefield, she was just dressed up like a man. She was just riding the horses. She was just using the sword like a man. Actually, she was a trained soldier, a brave and a skilled army chief, as well as a very sacrificial patriotist. Even we have seen a picture known as Manikarnika. Very soon it was released, casted by Kangna Ranaut. She also played very fine role of Rani Lakshmi Bai, as Rani Lakshmi Bai's nickname was Manikarnika. So this picture was about the life of her. That is an inspiring picture that should be watched by everyone. So that's it for the day, and that's it for the chapter. We'll meet very soon with something else from some new chapter. Till then, bye bye.